Fabs, bars, and I want to talk about the whole fuck the streets movement. I want to talk about both of them. Y'all know what it is, the conversation. Please let me do some R&B on your album. I didn't even get to the topic yet. I want to talk about Fab. I want to talk about Fab shooting at 50, and I want to talk about this whole fuck the streets movement. And yes, okay, whoever wants to talk to me about these two topics, the link is in the bio. Pull up. This is the only place I can have a one-on-one conversation with y'all is over here on YouTube. So come on over here. Not the community. Come on. Come on. He killed it. I see all the talk happening. Pull up. Let's get it. Peace to the chat. Uncle Pone, what up? You first. So if you want to come up on camera, you have earned the right, good sir. We will do this right now. But I want to talk about this. You guys have heard me over the last couple of weeks telling you how I feel like hip hop is in a good spot. Lucky, what up? You've heard me say that before, and I think we're in a great place. And I think this whole fuck the streets thing, I don't know, it's got me feeling like, this might be the evolution of that. Not to mention the fact that, you see a man going crazy, Fab going crazy. Bars is back. That's what we doing. Bars is up. Bars is back. Can we really say that? Like right now? I don't know. I'm feeling happy about it. I'm feeling some kind of way about it right now. It's starting to make me feel good. Dead ass. Hmm. How we feel? I need to see y'all in the chat. Pull up on the chat. Pull up on the chat. I don't even want to play this game. Pull up in the chat. Who's coming up on camera? Let's get to it. Peace to the chat. Lucky, what up? I think hip hop. Lucky, don't talk it over there, man. Come on. Let's go. Uncle Pone, you too. I don't hear nobody talking about they got to get their hair done. Come on, man. Let's get it. Talk to me because I need to know how y'all are feeling about this. Make sure you start off with the evidence instead of just y'all. Whoa, y'all. Come on, y'all. How did that start? Fab is a sharpshooter. The man don't miss. I hear you. I don't even get the F the streets angle at all. Okay, merch. I don't want to have this discussion on Instagram. Y'all, come on. Come on over here to the YouTube. The link is in the bio, people. Like, share, subscribe. Got a couple people already pop. Salute to the chat. Let's please get to it. I'm gonna start with my feelings. First of all, fuck the streets. I'm all for it. I've never been a street dude. 50 can't hang with Fab when it comes to bars. I hear you, Lucky. He calling Fifth a Fed. Don't even know. Okay, no. Come on. Link is in the bio. Everybody over here on YouTube, on Instagram. Link is in the bio. Come pull up on me on YouTube. Let's have this talk. Let's get to this. Because I really want to know how people are feeling right now. I got my feelings on this whole thing. I'm all for the fuck the streets moment, but homeboy from the Eggs and Grits podcast said it best. If it's fuck the streets, if that's really what it is, it can't just be something it can't just be the next new slogan or the next new catchy phrase. I want to see some action behind it before I actually start thinking that y'all are real. Jux Diamonds, what up? EC, what up? Folks pulling up in the chat. Like, share, and subscribe. Let's get this popping. But yeah, man. I need to see some words before I believe that this is real, before I believe that this isn't just something that y'all are putting on albums. And it doesn't surprise me that some of the people who, some of the cats built their whole fan bases off the streets. And now that that's no longer a thing, it's fuck the streets, i.e., your man. Well, anybody really, like anybody, you get rich and then you just bounce, and now it's fuck the streets. Okay, I can dig it. Nobody, no. First of all, no hustler hustles to stay in the street. That's number one. No real hustler. If you're not out here for fashion or out here for the look of it, or for the thrill, nobody I know who hustles is hustling with the agenda of never leaving the street. That's not how it goes. Not from anybody I've ever. Not for many of the real hustlers I've ever seen. The goal of hustling is to get out of the street. It's not to stay there for the rest of your days, or stay there till the streets catch up with you and get you out of there permanently. So if that's the case, and it's now fuck the streets, what are we doing about it? What are we doing about it? Where's the action from the rappers who are screaming fuck the streets? That's the next thing. It's got to be some kind of accountability, right? Everybody pulling up on Instagram, link in the bio, YouTube, we live right now. I want to talk to folks. That was the exact goal: get in and get out get in and get out with some money, and your life and your freedom and your morals intact. But I don't even know if that's a possibility. I'll tell you why it feels disingenuous. And this is it feels disingenuous because like my man Kyle from Eggs and Grits pointed out, there doesn't seem to be any action, with the exception of just a lot of lip service. It sounds cute on an album, but I don't really see what are we talking about. And I'm not talking about the cats who got like charities, even though that's pointless if your albums is still talking all that street shit. I don't understand that. You got charities because you know how much damage the street does, but every song on the album is sliding and ops and et cetera, et cetera. Like, I don't get that. What's the point? However, I'm wondering beyond actionable, tangible, actionable items and actual tangible results, things that we can actually see you doing. Outside of that, I'm wondering what rehab for the street dudes is going to be like. There's some dudes who have been in the streets their whole life. They don't know anything else, and I'm wondering what that looks like. What's the rehab for the streets? What's the how do you come down from that life? How do you rehabilitate yourself from that life and decide, yeah, enough is enough. Fuck the streets. Do you go? Can you do a 9 to 5 job? If you don't own something, can you do a 9 to 5 job? Let's say you haven't put enough money into buy the barbershop, liquor store, food spot, lawnmower repair spot, like whatever it is that you can do outside of hustling. If you haven't put money in, is it cool to go get a 9 to 5 job, knowing what the alternative is? And yeah, you definitely have to fix what you broke. In the words of Kyle, I couldn't have really said it any better. My man had the perfect layup. Can you fix what you broke? If you're in the streets, doing all this damage, fucking the community up, can you fix what you broke? Where's the outreach to get some of these dudes to squash these beefs, these blood feuds that they have, that we show no signs of slowing down? You killed this homie, so they're gonna go get yours, and you killed his brother, so he's gonna get. Who's gonna be the guy to try to broker the peace where one side puts down the guns first, and both sides try to meet in the middle? Who's that dude? Because that's the repair. That's the real repair. Stopping the shit where it is, and then purposefully trying to show these homies a different way. That's the real repair. In the rehab for fast money, which is all dynamic. I don't think a lot of people are really going to take into account. Those quick flips and that quick bread is different from the guys who are doing the 9 to 5 thing, getting paid every 2 weeks. That's got to take some discipline. If you're over here on Instagram, pull up on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe. I got the link in the bio. Come on over here. Let's get this back and forth. I'm reading these texts. I'm reading these comments actively, and I don't think the beef is in the streets. I don't think beef in the streets can be fixed if people were killed behind it. Lucky, I hear you. I hear you. I'm gonna say it's. I don't think it. I acknowledge how difficult this task would be, but I also acknowledge that it's absolutely necessary. It has to happen. Eventually, we have to understand that there are bigger fish to fry. We have enemies out there that are happy every time we take each other out. And this is an old song. This is a song as old as time. But if y'all are out here ripping and running over blocks you don't really own, over money that's super temporary, and you're really just out here in the streets playing cowboys and Indians, the modern day version with real guns, we have to come to a point where we understand that this is a zero-sum game. This cannot go on. We will not make it. And when I say we, I mean, us as a people. If the younger generation, if this is what they want, we gotta get them out of this. And now the conversation goes to these same rappers who are saying fuck the streets. What kind of messaging can they use to make this work? What kind of actions can they take to prove that they really about what they're saying? What does the repair look like? What does the rehab look like? For everybody involved, right? Like, I think the first things first, we have to acknowledge that it won't happen overnight. None of this is going to happen just next thing you know. Accountability and atonement are necessary. Artists have to reinvent themselves. That's that Uncle Pone. I think that's key. I think that's a big deal. They are gonna have to reinvent themselves, but they got to do it in a way where they don't lose face and don't lose credibility. Young Thug made his reputation in the streets, made his reputation off street music, and made his reputation in that world. But he didn't hold up so good, according to the documents and the paperwork and some of the people I've talked to. I'm not an expert on that, but he didn't really hold the line so good. He didn't really keep the code of the streets intact. So I'm not sure if he's the right messenger for fuck the streets, even though he said that he's involved, and he has every reason to be. Like, you almost lose your freedom and see how it all shakes out. Of course, your natural reaction is, oh, word, that's what we doing? Fuck out of here. I get that completely. But he may not be the right person to go tell, up and coming YN who's all about the streets and making his way out there. He may not be the right person to give that message. Thug is a mouse. I rest my case. Nas showed the growth. He most certainly did. And I hope they're watching. I think the Nas talk in conjunction with Fuck the Streets, in conjunction with the kind of year hip hop is having, where it's gotten back to making like really solid quality music, in conjunction with labels taking the kind of hit that they're or being exposed for what they are. I think all these things can work in conjunction and actually bring out something really, really positive going into next year. Everybody on Instagram, link in my bio. Come on over to YouTube. Come on over to StreamYard. Hop on camera if you want. I'm talking to everybody right now because I really need to see how y'all are feeling about this. Salute everybody over here. Hoping it stays this way for a while. Yeah, shoot. Come over to YouTube, everybody. Everybody over here on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe. Let's keep this going. Pride is the number one reason guys can't put their differences to the side for the greater good. Do the labels care, or do they just use it as press? Great question. Well, I mean, no, labels by and large have, and this doesn't, I can't speak for everybody at every label, but for the most part, a label is a business. The bottom line is the bottom line. The bottom line is the bread. So they're not really thinking too tough about the cultural impact. If that was the case, we would have seen a lot more promotion of a lot more, at least a more diverse array of rappers, as opposed to only being focused on the street, or primarily being focused on street shit. You know, when the first rapper got shot, we would have seen more promotion in the areas that weren't talking about sliding and this and that, and you know, deals wouldn't be getting handed out to folks like that, airplay, et cetera, et cetera. So now I don't think labels necessarily care, even though you would think a more diverse portfolio when it came to music would just be good for business. If they're just watching the bottom line, this is ultimately good for business. So I don't know why they don't care. I got no answers on that. Unless we start talking about the obvious, in which case we just acknowledge that it's being done on purpose and there's a setup to it. Salute to everyone in the chat. Salute, Mac. What up, D? But no, I think what you'll see labels do is ultimately use whatever the culture comes up with and try to flip it and bounce it, turn it into another selling point, figure out how they can make money off it. And that's what any business is going to do. They're going to figure out how to sell a product. And if they don't look at us as a culture and they just look at us as a commodity, a product, they're going to try and figure out how to market our new direction. But they could have been doing it. So I don't think they care. I don't think any move they make is going to be. I don't think it's going to be anything selfless. I don't think they're going to do it for the greater good. I think they're going to figure out what's selling and how they can profit from it, like any business. Wow, yeah, they are still kicking my ass. Labels are lost right now. Well, labels are being run by tech companies. Labels are tech companies. They're not. There's no more soul. There's very little soul and culture. Like they're not really checking for. They're checking for profit, and now they're just being a lot more blatant about it. It's all algorithm. Pride is the number one reason. Somehow, some way, we need voices bigger and more popular than mine to point out that there are different things to be proud of. There are different things to be proud of. You can't just, how many dudes you shot can't be your point of pride your whole life. You can't be. It's corny. That's corny. I'm all for the Fuck the Streets movement. I-4-9 remix Ghostface. No. Come on, dude. Type this on YouTube. Come on over to YouTube. I want to get too caught up on Instagram. Just on IG to let y'all know everything is going down on YouTube. This is where the conversation is happening. Like, share, and subscribe. Link is in the bio. Pull up. Just link is in the bio. Link is in the bio. Pull up. Let's have this talk. Okay. A lot of these dudes weren't raised with love. Parents could be on drugs, or just not putting their kids first over a job, a man, a woman. Imagine a 13-year-old not seeing a future for themselves. Candy, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you, and I agree. It's really for us to be, but statistics say that these last couple of black fathers are the most involved ones. So we got a chance. We got a chance to do something here. There's men in the house now. We can't keep bringing that old trope out there. The men are in the house. A lot of these dudes are trying to correct the mistakes of their fathers. Another reason why I think this whole "fuck the streets" movement has a chance, and I gotta say, I'm with it. I'm with it. Maybe now, somewhere in the midst of all this confusion, we finally start understanding that it's us against everybody else. All we have is us. We are literally behind enemy lines. That the other guys don't want us to be better, and the strength isn't in our vengeance, our guns, the strength isn't in our war. The strength is in our unity. That's what they feel. That's what they feel. When we get together and we figure out who the real enemy is, it's not the dude who lives in the same neighborhood as you, trying to make the same rules as you for the exact same reasons as you, trying to buy their same mama, the same house, and trying to, push their brothers and sisters in a different direction. That we know this story so well, I don't even have to tell you who I'm talking about. We can all relate to this situation, and which is the main reason why it should be easier for us to get out of it. We all know this is a real thing. We all know that this is affecting us, left, right, and center. We gotta get the fuck out of the paint. And "fuck the streets" is a great motivator. It's a great start. It's a great start. And we got dope music happening. Like, this is a great start. Uncle Pim. The real question is, what does hip hop culture? When does hip hop culture publicly mature? Uncle Pone, we've been doing that. Dead ass. Hip hop has been publicly maturing. We have artists like Jay, Nas, Bus. They may not be the most active. I mean, well, Nas is active as fuck. Bus is on his way. Jay is, whenever he feels like it. But we have our OGs who are showing and proving how you're supposed to move. What 50 looks like. I told Method Man when he came to the show, we all need the blueprint to show us what this is supposed to look like. If 50 plus looks like Nas, Jay, Jada, Ghost, Ray, etc., like we can publicly mature. The labels don't promote that because maturity will bring unity. Maturity, facts, as a former parent mentor. Okay, I'm glad I'm not alone here. We mature, the youth see it. Name me a kid. I'll tell you exactly why I know maturity is something that or public maturity can help us out. Name me a time or name me a kid that you met that didn't want to be grown. When I was a kid, I wanted to be grown. Kids want to be grown. Kids don't want to be treated like kids. They don't want to be talked to like kids. They want to be grown. The issue is they're not really sure what grown looks like. Nas is definitely there. And we don't have a wide array of showing them what grown looks like. We can know. We can. It's right here. It's right here that the music is going to start. The music reflects the lifestyle of the grown. There's a lot of that. A lot of that. But do remember, some of the young men don't want to listen. We can't focus on the ones who don't want to pull up. There's always going to be, hard head make a soft ass. That was, you're never going to get 100%. Harriet Tubman couldn't get everybody to pull up. We can't expect that today either. In this day and age, where dudes are celebrated from coming home from prison, and nobody celebrated from coming home from college. And the baddies are still running down on street niggas and dope boys. We're not gonna get everybody. Grab the ones that'll listen. That's who we have to focus on. It can't be I'm not thinking about the guys who don't want to pull up. I'm not thinking about the young men and women out there who are stuck in their ways. If you want different, you got to do different. But I also don't want to waste a lot of time on people who need to be beaten ahead and convinced and or is it worth it? See, I'm going back and forth myself. Is it worth it? Which is why I really want to put together what this looks like for people. What this looks like. What does Fuck the Streets movement? What does the Fuck the Streets movement look like? I think number one, the rappers who have done the damage with their music have to show visible signs of we have to see them reconcile. We have to see them make amends. It can't just be fuck the streets. Uncle Pone, they got to be the example. You're 100% right. If it's fuck the streets, then show me what that's hitting for. Show me what that looks like. Show me what that sounds like. It sucks growing up, though. I can't say that. It most certainly does not. Like I don't know what your experience is, but growing up is the fucking wave. I wouldn't pay to be like young and dumb again. Too many of us were idiots and had no idea. I wouldn't pay to be dumb again. I'd be young again, but I wouldn't trade everything that I know now. Growing up does not suck. Growing up surrounded by idiots is irritating. But growing up doesn't suck. I can't get with you on that one, but there's a whole mass select few. We're never gonna get. I think waiting for us to move as a whole, I think is a mistake. I think we can try to work towards the majority. But bro, at this point, I'm down for passing on the test. If we can get 65, I'm cool. If we get 70, that's great. If we can turn it to 80, that's fantastic. 65, the majority will have the another good chunk of people following. Time itself gradually heals all infatuation with street rap. Infatuation with street rap is slowly dying. Time itself. I get you. I agree. Hustle rich. Time itself gradually heals all infatuation with street rap is slowly dying. I agree. It is. We can't stay there forever. 40% drop in sales across the board and all the labels tells you that even the audience isn't 100% with it. They want something different too. It is what it is. They want something. They're not buying. They're done. They're fed up. I just told one of my employees the other day, you want to see the change, be the change. Make yourself the sacrificial lamb. Time to separate music from the glorified streets. I've been saying that longer than I'm comfortable. I've been telling people hip hop and the streets are not synonymous. They're not because place, every place hip hop is in the streets. That's not even a hot take. That hip hop has, every place that hip hop grows and flourishes. It's not the street. The streets don't have a monopoly on it. They play hip hop in colleges. They play hip hop in boardrooms. They play hip hop on sports shows and the gyms and again back to the boardroom. Like there are no places. Hip hop is unlimited, so it doesn't just exist in the streets. So everybody who fucks with the culture of hip hop does not always indulge in street culture. That's not a thing. Got to knock that off. Again, fuck the streets. Like, when did we start? Well, I'm not even going to ask that question. But the streets don't need to dictate how we move in this culture. It's a part of it. It comes from but it came from the streets. It doesn't necessarily come from crime, which is two totally separate things. Damn, I'm mad late. You think Fifth gonna respond to Fab? That hot shower line was nasty. I'm a bro. If you want to talk about that, shoot me in a. What is this? The Raptor. Okay, bro. If you want to discuss that, come on over to YouTube. I will absolutely discuss 50 and Fab's bars towards him with anybody who's over here on YouTube. Pull up on YouTube. The link is in the bio. The link is on my bio on Instagram. Everybody who's over here on YouTube already, like, share, and subscribe. Let me spread the word. Really want to hear you guys' thoughts on this conversation. Labels killed positive music because they didn't want to push it. Neo soul / positive hip hop pushed them off. They pushed them off the charts. I would love to tell you that was a conspiracy, but when you look at the evidence, when you just look around, you just look up, like, where's the positive hip hop? To the point where people just think all of hip hop, music and culture, is just another word for the streets. And when I say the streets, I mean crime, which is another thing. Like, we all came from the streets, yeah, but we didn't all come from crime life. That wasn't everybody. We were in the streets because that's where we were. We were outside because that's where it was. We were the streets of the house. But somewhere along the line, the streets became synonymous with a life of crime, with hustling and doing something illegal, moving and shaking. And that's not the case. That's not the case. I know a lot of breakdancers who, in the streets all day, every day, but they weren't committing crimes unless you count, like, acts of vandalism and maybe loitering and trespassing. They weren't, I don't know. I see how how hip hop culture became synonymous with the streets and crime, but I also see that the separation is way closer than not. Way closer than not. And we can have it that way. All in here. Oh, okay. What up, show? Okay. All right. Hit the Showtime the Raptor. Hit the hello, brother Mac. I hope all is great with you and yours for the holiday season and everyone else. Mr. For your sister, what up, bro? What up, bro? Welcome back. Welcome back. Peace. Welcome back. Fabs bars are crazy, and I like the fact. Hit the camera, bro. Let's talk. Hip hop will not be denied in this bitch. I really want to have this discussion on Fab, and I'm with that too, because oh man, Fab really did his thing. But seriously, who shocked that Fab took it to bars? Betty, what up? Good to see you, darling. Welcome back. Showtime the Raptor. Who's really surprised that Fab blacked out? Seriously. It was a matter of time. You can't keep poking poking the bear, and not yet. Not gonna lie, Jim Jones shit wasn't that bad either. But Chip 2 Chip 2 Fab is different. And Fab, okay, let's just get this out in the open. Fab has always been elite. His pen has always been different. He's always been one of them dudes, spitting wise. He just so happened that Fab made hits. Fab also gave us joints to dance to. Fab hit the clubs pretty heavy. So Fab made hits, but Fab was a spitter. Fab is a spitter. $50 not gonna respond with a record. Mac, where you get that hoodie, bro? Come to YouTube. I'm not answering no clothing questions. Come to YouTube and ask me, and I'll tell you the answer. Everybody on YouTube, everybody on Instagram, pull up over on YouTube. The link is in the bio. Pull up. I'll answer all those. I'll answer all those questions over here. Yeah, man. Yeah, no, nobody's shocked. Now the question is, how does 50 respond? What can he do to respond back to what Fab did? How does 50 respond? I didn't do that. Damn, I'm terrible at this. Oh, there it is. You're right. You're right. Thank you for that. Thank you, much appreciated. Link is in the chat. Good people, link is in the chat. I should find a way to pin that. I should find a way to make sure that sticks around. Can I pin it? Okay, that's cool. Let's find a way to pin that. There you go. Link is in the chat. Link is in the chat. Links in the chat. Pull up if you be so inclined, if you want to have these conversations. So it stays. Look at that. Now it's on screen. Now it's on screen. Yeah, man. Oh man, how does 50 respond? How does 50 respond? This has got to be one of those moments where you wish you had Banks back around. Get Banks in there to go in there and get busy. 53. Okay, all right. Damn. Y'all ain't at the point. Let's get some invitations up here. There we go. Copy that. Oh man, how does 50 respond to this? How does 50 respond to this? Can he spit? Can he? Would any of you be interested in hearing 50 spit? Like get back at Fab? Like try his hand at getting that Fab? Would anybody be interested in hearing that? Anybody? Does 50 respond via the breathe beat? That's a tactic. That is a tactic. That's something you could try. But you got okay. Now see, you start trying to go at Fab using like his records. You gotta smoke those records. You gotta smoke those records. And I don't know if you can smoke a Fab track better than Fab did. You gotta really smoke the shit out of those records. I'm not even sure if that's possible. But he said, not me. 50 need to stay out the booth. Wow. 50 need to stay out the booth. I'm not sure, y'all. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how 50 responds. But 50's gonna have jokes. 50 gonna make a documentary. That's some cold shit. That's some cold shit. That's some cold shit. Yeah, it might work though. Might work though. Putting the link in the chat. Pull up if you'd like to. Hop on camera. I got the link in the chat. Yeah, that works. Oh wait, let me blow this up a little bit. Fifty need to stay out of the booth. Fifth got to drop bars about jumping slow bucks and Fab didn't do nada on stage. Ooh, Showtime, you dirty. You dirty. In this era, Fifth got 48 hours to respond. Can he though? Can he though? I don't know. I don't know. These are two different kinds of rappers. I don't know if Fifth can really do what would be necessary to fuck with the boy. I gotta go, but I would love to pull up. Bro, I just put the oh, you gotta go, you said. Yeah, I can't pin the comment so it stays. I put a star on it. I guess that's it. But I can't put a comment so it stays. But anybody who wants to pull up is more than welcome. I'm gonna cut out of here, not too much long. I don't want to beat y'all in the head. But oh, man, 50 up. Here it comes. As soon as I said that shit, here's Uncle Pone. Okay. As soon as I said I'm about to get the fuck out of here, Uncle Pone.
Yeah, I was trying to catch you on Instagram. I didn't know you was streaming through StreamYard.
I can barely hear you, bro. You sound real cloudy.
Hold on, let me take this. Turn the Bluetooth
There
off.
you go. There you go. Instantly better. One more time. Say something else.
Can you hear me now?
There you go. All right. Speak your mind, Pone.
Yeah. I had the Bluetooth in.
I got
But
you.
yeah, I was trying to catch you on the Instagram. It's funny though. I think Fifth got some bars for him. I think he might have receipts too. This has been a really crazy situation and it's really entertaining. I can't lie.
Okay. Bars, and you think he's got some info. You think he got some dirt.
Always got dirt, man. That dude always got dirt.
Okay. Yeah, that was actually a dumb question on my part. Like Fifth not having dirt is like a pig not having slop. Like that's kind of what he does.
Right.
But will it be enough to carry him past if Fab like really decides to just press home the fact that I rap better than you?
I don't know, man, because Fifth is taking on some heavy hitters and done some damage, like historically speaking. Like he put a little spanking on Jay. He put a little spanking. I mean, he said some stuff about a few people a few times, and there was, when I think back, to be honest, when I look at it, my favorite response to a 50 Cent diss was the Styles P, not Styles P. Is it Styles P? Styles P. Was it Styles P? What's the other one?
Jada.
Not Jada. She. Sheik had a song called "I Want to Be" something like "I Want to Be Like That 50 Cent Bitch." That's my favorite diss response to 50
Oh,
Cent.
I remember.
It was on Koch Records, the independent joint.
Yeah.
That was my favorite response, yo. It's just because of how hilarious he carried the bars in there. Like he wasn't serious, but he was serious. So it was a really good battle, and I really love that song. So, but when you think about it, Fifth was tearing motherfuckers up, yo.
Was he really though?
I mean, if we saying lyrically, like was he doing a whole lot of punchlines? Nah.
Mm-hmm.
But he was tearing them up otherwise, man.
Fifth found another way to fight, right? That's how I look at it. Like you walk into a room full of boxers and you starting shit or you popping shit. You got to figure out a way to win. It feels like Fifth walked in there with a lead pipe. Like,
Yeah, right.
find another way to win. I'm gonna embarrass you over here. I'm gonna talk about your girl. I'm gonna bring this around. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna flex money. Now, my only question is, it's effective, but is that gonna hold up in this day and age where we have like a resurgence of bars and people caring about bars again? Is this something that's gonna hold up, or can Fab just turn around and because if I'm Fab, I got a counter offensive ready to let the whole world know. He's gonna try and diss me on this. He's gonna talk about this. You pull the 8 Mile method. Like he's gonna.
Yeah, given the last few battles that's happened that really shaped hip hop, and at least this year, like the some of these battle rap beefs and the situation with Kendrick, and yeah, it's gonna. I don't know. I mean, it's not like he don't got a pen. The question is, how would he respond to a Fab like that? You know what I mean? Because it's not necessarily going to be about bars. He can't take it at. He can't. I don't think he can compete bar for bar, punchline for punchline with a Fab, but he can definitely compete song for song. So he can make a better song.
Mm-hmm.
But it's subjective. It's objective. It's kind of like
does it earn him?
It's your own opinion at that point.
No, hold on. Does that earn him the respect in your eyes? If 50 takes this beef and uses the methods that you just described, does that earn him the respect, or even does that earn him a win? What does that get him from you?
For me, I mean, actually, in my eyes, it would be just for fun, and the reason being is he don't need it. This isn't going to change his career. It's not going to make him a bigger rapper. It's really not going to boost his brand anymore. It's just fun. But what it is doing is it's putting Fab back in everybody's eyes. We're getting music from Fab, which we haven't had. We're getting bars from Mano. We're getting bars from Jim Jones and things like that. So I think the climate is changing where the competition is back. Like folks were scared of the competition because of drill rap. In fact, I got some young boys around my way. We can't even let these dudes rap on record because of the shit they be saying. So hip hop kind of died in that sense because drill rap became reality. But now this isn't reality bars. They're not arguing and get ready to go fist fight somewhere. These dudes are clowning each other on the internet. It's not really going to matriculate into a situation like we had with in back in '94 with Pac and Biggie and all of those other crazy beefs that were going on back in our heyday, or what they call our heyday. My heydays right now. So
actually, that's funny because that leads us back around into the whole "fuck the streets" movement. Like you got finished talking about the young boys, you got around to what you can't. Yeah, that leads us right back around to "fuck the streets." Like,
I mean, it's harsh, but I'm 50. I'm 50 years old. I turned 50 in January. I used to run the streets. I used to be in corporate America. I retired from corporate America. I'm a small business owner now. And
congratulations.
So here's my take on it. And I had a business when I was running the streets too. But
hold on, bro. Hold on. I said congratulations twice.
I apologize. My bad. I missed that. I totally missed that. I didn't mean to disrespect.
No,
I
it's not even
appreciate that.
it's not a respect thing. It's not a respect thing.
No, it's not. But I
But
did miss that, so I
I want
apologize.
to acknowledge. I just got finished having this whole back and forth. Not back and forth. I just got finished talking this whole speech about the fact that at a certain age, hip hop needs to have role models and show us what it's supposed to look like. Because
Right.
when I was 30, I had a completely different concept of what 40 looked like. When I was 20, I had a different concept of what 30 looked like. So as we grow up, we don't have visible role. We're just now starting to get our 50-year-old role models and
Role
be like,
models,
oh,
yeah,
that's what it can
absolutely.
look like. That's what it can look like. And you are a prime example just off the quick little stint of history you gave me, just off that little bit. Used
Yeah.
to be in the streets, small business owner, retired from corporate America. Bro, that's role model shit. And you
Yeah.
still dealing with the young dudes who are talking about sliding in all their raps. So when
Oh
I
my
say
God.
congratulations, I need you to
No, I
embrace
appreciate it.
that
I really
and
appreciate it.
disrupt
I
the
don't,
game.
you know what it was though? I don't think about it that much because I've always been doing that stuff even when I was in the streets, and it's because I was around older dudes who were telling me this was the plan. We got to get the hell out the streets. Don't do this, don't do that. You know what I mean? The guys that I was around were smart enough to guide me in the right way that I wouldn't make the same mistakes they were making. So eventually when I left the streets and uh, really focused on corporate America and things like that, it was a heavy transition, but people watching, it
Mm-hmm.
started changing their lives. So like some of the things we were doing while we were in the streets were changing people's lives. And it's crazy because the fuck the street shit. Listen, I was knee deep in the game when I was in corporate America.
Okay.
Now I usually don't tell these stories publicly or anything like that, but statute of limitations, all that shit's gone. That was like 20 years ago. I became a parent mentor while I was running the streets. I
Okay.
learned how to parent effectively. And in doing so, I started by my actions and the way I was with my children at the time started changing our environment slowly. The people around us started being more involved in their children's lives. They started asking questions about what to do. So what I gathered during my time and what I've always held on to is that sometimes, and I posted in there, sometimes you have to be the example. I had to make myself an example for my close friends to see a change. Like we were trying to build a record label and all that stuff everybody's doing right now when we was young. And in order to do certain things and get to a next level, there is a point where the street stuff got to go. You
Mm-hmm.
can't walk into a boardroom and have a conversation dealing with millions of dollars, talking to people, and then use street terminology as if they're supposed to accept it or even comprehend it. It's just not gonna blend. And it doesn't matter what age you are. You can be 15. You walk into a boardroom and you don't comprehend the environment you're in. You're gonna get lost, and you're not gonna accomplish any of your goals. So in my 20s, I started seeing that. And because of that, I started making changes. Now, granted, I did have people in my ear helping me out, but I had to become the sacrifice so that others could see this is the path out. You know what I mean? When I bought my first house, me and my wife, we bought our first house and we left the hood.
Mm-hmm.
People saw that. When our friends came to oh, y'all got this. Oh my God. It made them want to go out and do more. So
Mm-hmm.
all of my friends that came up after me got their own shit. You know what I mean? The ones that didn't end up in jail and things like that. And even them, those guys got out and started doing better and are doing great now.
God
So,
bless.
but the thing is, you got to have an example. The problem with that we're seeing with some of these youths is that the adults, the people who are supposed to be adults, our peers, are too busy trying to be children still.
Which is crazy.
Very crazy.
Which is crazy.
However, that is one of the things that comes with age. You start falling back into that second childhood and want to get your childhood back. One of the things, one of my biggest gripes that I have with some of my old street buddies is I don't want to hear about that old shit. I do not want to talk about
Mm-hmm.
what we was doing 25, 30 years ago. That it's like so much has happened since then. And the question I always ask myself is like, damn, you guys didn't do anything other than that? Like that was where your life capped off? The answer is no. But that was so exciting for them that's all they can hold on. It seems like that's all they can hold on to, even though they got shit going on now. And it's like, and it's like, I don't know, man. It's this masculine thing we got where we got to prove ourselves to these kids, and these kids ain't paying us no mind, man. These young boys, they paid me no mind. Shit, recently, we just had shit. I live in one of the worst blocks in Delaware, in the capital city of Delaware. We recently just had a real horrible murder on my block. One of the young boys got murdered, gang violence and long ongoing gang violence. We used to mentor these kids. Some things can't be avoided. Sometimes you can, like the old saying, lead that horse to water. He might even drink that first 2 times. That motherfucker gonna run, do what he want to do anyway. We let him do it. You know, you can't force anybody to do anything. You can't make these children listen to you. Shit, even my own children, I don't make them listen to me. You're going to find out your own way. Right. You know what I mean? The only thing is, if it's something I'm adamant about, just know that I can still bust your ass even at 50. You know what I mean? And my children are grown, but
is there a way? Is there a way? As somebody who's got firsthand experience and boots on the ground, and you're in active contact with these young men, what are some steps? Like, what do you think? I'm trying to find the thing that we can all agree is worth trying. Not what's gonna work, because different strokes, different folks, and everybody's different. But I'm trying to find an approach that maybe, it's not going to be something that's drastic. It's not going to happen overnight. You've already touched on that. Yeah. It's not going to be something that's going to happen overnight. They had to watch you show and prove. They had to watch you business, watch you. So what I'm saying is, is there something we can instill alongside the fuck the streets talk that's happening right now with some of the more popular rappers, that maybe we're able to de-escalate? One thing I'm a big proponent of is call me old fashioned. Sorry, I hope this doesn't get me in trouble. I don't really care though. Fist fighting. I like the idea of fist fight. Like, how about you can have all the beef you want with all the ops you want.
Listen,
I'd go get mine, but they hanging
listen.
Right now.
They listen. Them kids on my block see me box almost every day.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That didn't stop the young boy from getting killed. And he could box. He was Golden Gloves. He used to live in Georgia. He moved back to Delaware, got in trouble in both places, ended up getting himself murked. Some things you can't change. Some situations can't be changed. His situation got so far out of his hands that I don't think there was any turning back. Like, he had enemies coming from so many different directions that nobody could have stopped what was going to happen. That was just part of the plan. And I think what happened with that is a lot of the kids that were running around and idolizing what he was doing, now they're very quiet. You don't hear about them. They, talk their little stuff amongst their crew, but all of that's kind of calmed down, because what happens is, and what really happens is, and this is something I tell a lot of these street dudes, because it's funny, they'll brag about all these when they get this gun and that gun and all that, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm like, you're not doing that to the police. You're not doing it. You don't. I'm gonna get a grenade and blow up. What are you gonna do with that? Yeah. How is that gonna help you? You're not gonna get anywhere with that mess. You guys run
right back to the exact same house after you do all that stuff.
You know what I mean? So sometimes they just need somebody in their ear saying, hey, that's not a good idea. Like, it sounds cool, but realistically speaking, it's not going to work because X, Y, and Z. And I'm only telling you because if you do happen to do something stupid like that, one, leave me out of it, but two, this is the outcome.
Right.
You're going to end up with the ATF at your door. You're going to end up with people who are trained to kill and not somebody who casually shoots in the air to prove that they're tough. It's a whole different scenario.
Somebody who practices hitting the mark. Bro, I really
every day.
I really think the next, because I don't think there's a way to automatically quell the violence, right? I don't think so.
No.
I don't think we can all of a sudden turn around and be kumbaya with each other. There's too much damage. There's too much water under the bridge. I think the next logical step for us is to point out the fact that shooting a gun is for pussies.
No, for real. Yeah.
If we can push that point home, because I remember when that was a real thing. Like I put a post up the other day, maybe a week or two ago. I said the internet has made people real comfortable. Y'all be on here sneak dissing people that will beat the fuck out of you in real life, right?
No, for real. Yeah.
No, it's on my page right now, and I got a whole bunch of like thumbs up and like fire emojis, and everybody was like bigging it up. And then you had one or two people who jumped on there talking about, yeah, maybe that was cool for back in the day, but people got guns now. And I had to type in that people had guns back in the days too. It was the only way pussies could talk shit and walk away. Like you have to understand that was a tool for pussies. It wasn't meant. It was and it was only meant for pussies who actively popped shit. Like
I agree and I disagree. I don't think shooting isn't necessarily for pussies. I think shooting serves a purpose. It's just the purpose should be either hunting or self-defense or defense of country.
I'm not discussing neither one of those.
So if we're not talking about that, then
we're not.
Then yeah, if you're in an altercation and that's your first thing is to go shoot somebody or to go stab somebody, to go grab a weapon, go grab a stick and hit them, you shouldn't be in that altercation in the first place. How
about the fact that you wouldn't be in the altercation if that weapon wasn't an alternative? Like there probably wouldn't be one. Most of the guys I see pushing the point home, pushing the violence button are dudes who have a weapon accessible.
Yeah. You find that a lot.
The fighters I'm cool with don't like to fight. They don't like all the fighters I know walk away from all the smoke. They're not running around bullying people and trying to get it popping.
You know why? Because they notice the difference. Like once you know how to defend yourself effectively, you'll start to notice that you don't need to talk about what you can do because you already know. These youth don't understand that. They don't comprehend that because a lot of them aren't exposed to that. They don't know. The ones who are in the gym, boxing and all of that stuff, these kids who are training MMA or learning some type of martial art, you'll see they're a little bit more reserved because they know what their ability is. Mm-hmm. Most of the violence that we're seeing taking place is with people, children, and some adults who do not know how to effectively defend themselves in any situation. So a lot of times they're just scared and they're trying to mask their fear with violence. It's a sick, twisted situation, but
how do we look to neutralize this? How do we?
So with that takes community involvement. It takes good parenting. It takes the youth themselves saying, "Hey, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to live. I want to actually have a life." But in order to get that, you got to see somebody living a life that you want to live in that sense. And that doesn't necessarily mean all the cars and things like that. Like a prime example, a lot of the young guys, street guys around here, they'll be like, I want to be like you, just chill in my yard, smoking my cigar and not have to worry about nothing. I'm like, oh, bro, I worry about a lot of shit. It's just not the shit you worried about. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, but the idea is I want to be able to relax. I want to be able to get out the street and relax. So they have the aspiration. Mm-hmm. It's just the streets tell you that you soft if you want that. You soft if you read a book. You soft if you know too much. You soft if you go to school. That's the thing that we got to learn how to defend against. The naysayers. And say that again?
That's how I started fighting in the first place. I was that guy.
Yeah, I was too, man. Look, I'm telling y'all too much, but I grew up on 162nd Ogden Avenue in the Bronx. I used to go to school on Roosevelt Island in Manhattan. Mm-hmm. I've kind of seen it all in certain aspects.
Yeah,
the loudest people are usually the softest.
Those two addresses just hit me at the same time. Like that. It just took. I legit just glitched. I was like, wait, yeah. The Bronx. Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
He's seen every side of this.
Every side. Listen, and we can really get deep because my uncle used to own one of the first video stores in New York on the I think it was on the east side of Manhattan and shit. Video Motion back in the 80s. So I've seen a lot of craziness. I've even escaped some of the pedos running around NYC back in the 80s. Yeah. So some things have to be translated through us to these youth, but you got to find a youth that the one, because there's always one, yo. There's always one in the group who excels, who comprehends, and who wants more and better for themselves. And that's the one you isolate, and that's the one you start giving the real jewels to. You don't waste your time on the, and I don't want to call them cannon fodder or anything silly like that, but you don't waste your time on the ones that's not listening.
No, but everybody
You
ain't
can
going.
drop your jewels, always drop your jewels, but don't waste your time on it. Like plant that seed and then let it do what it does. You just plant the seed and let it go. You don't waste your time on any one individual or any one group that's not willing to listen to you. You're going to burn yourself out. You're going to be tired. You're going to be frustrated and things like that.
End up like me in the barbershop.
Yeah. Listen, I've had, that's funny you said that. We're not even going to go there.
Caught that a second later, huh?
I caught that. I was trying to avoid it, but it was funny. But you can see it. You can see it play out in real time in y'all situation. You know, sometimes you're with somebody and they have this remarkable talent and ability, and they have this thing going, and everybody's behind it, and then ego comes into play, and it kind of washes everything away. Even when the people that are around you are actually only telling you to do certain things to benefit you, you know. And ego's a mug, man. That's one of the things that I think hurt our people in general. When it comes to trying to get past some of the obstacles that we face in life, as far as getting ahead, transitioning past the streets, or transitioning. Really, when you say transitioning past the streets, you're saying transitioning past poverty. Because we're not transitioning past the streets. I know millionaires right now that walk down the same streets I walk down.
Yeah,
in fact, some of my business partners, like, so
the term the streets have gotten misconstrued with crime. Like it's not.
Yeah. So they commercialized it. Like you know, I was one of them dudes who used to get mad when Nas would share secrets on his records, and I love Nas to death.
What kind of secrets?
What'd he say? Something to the effect of you moved to Florida, that's how they know you caught a body, or some shit like that back in the day. Yeah. I wasn't with the drug bars back in the day, and I got drug bars. You listen, you can go on I got Uncle Pone, and I'm not trying to plug nothing, but if you listen, just so you know, I'm not a hypocrite. I got hella drug bars, and I got some knowledge bars too. It's a balance. You got to find a fine balance, because life is about balance. But I was one of those guys who was like, when the more hardcore drug music was starting to infiltrate the industry, I didn't really care for it, because one, I saw how it was affecting the youth. They were like stuck on that. Oh, I'll blow you up and I sell crack, and everybody became a drug dealer, and it was just freaking crazy. So we know the music drives the culture. It's just, I don't know. It's just wild, man. You just got to be careful.
It's the other way around. The culture is a reflection. The culture is reflected in the music, right?
Okay, I can agree to that.
Yeah, the culture is reflected in the music. I think from that perspective, we have our entryway into reshaping how the youth view things.
Hold on, let me backtrack. It is reflected in the music, but it was the music was driving the culture from, I would say, we can say from the late 90s, maybe up until this drill movement started fading out recently.
What culture are you talking about specifically?
I'm talking about the hip hop, the so-called street culture, the urban street culture, whatever urban.
That's not, it's inaccurate. What you're talking about is what's being manufactured. The music has always been reflective of what the people are going through in the moment. But
I'm not disagreeing with that part. I'm just saying.
Let me bring it home.
All right, bring home.
It's always been reflective of what the people are going through in the moment. However, agendas were pushed, marketing, branding,
right,
sales. What you're discussing is the repercussions of us being also involved in the music industry. The industry also pushed narratives. The culture has always been what it is, right? The people have we've always gone through what it was, but those narratives that you're discussing, a lot of those were manufactured and put on spreadsheets. And if we push it this way, then we get this result, X, Y, Z, A, B, and C. So I don't like to give. I don't like to. Guru had a real. Guru said something in an interview we did with him that always stuck with me. Like, give the devil his name. Don't just
Right.
chalk it up and be vague. Give the devil his name. And whenever I see, we have a tendency to just, hey, listen, we're responsible for this. There were other circumstances. It wasn't just.
No, that's fair. That's fair enough. It does have to be stated that it was a concerted effort to make the music sound a specific way, and it was done to boost the prison population and fund all of these bills that they're using.
We're here.
And we can get way deeper than that because me and my colleagues have studied these bills, and we know exactly how they generate this money, what they generate the money for, who it's funding, and why this crap goes down like this. It's all systematic. It ties into the education system, goes all the way back to race and ethnicity and all of that. So we can really, really get into it for real.
Okay, so this is just me preaching to the choir. You don't need me for shit. Like you
I'm not the choir. That's why I jumped down there, because it seemed like you just needed somebody to chat with. For real, because you already know.
Yeah, I'm not up here. I'm 9 times out of 10. I'm not up here to repeat what I already know or what I already think. I really want to understand where, and this is going to sound, no, it's not. I want to see what my audience is when we start having these conversations. Like, I see where everybody else goes, and I see how these other people, run the gamut and run the jibs. I like to know where my audience is when stuff like this comes up. People who fuck with me, I want to know what y'all are thinking. So these are and I try not.
I'm one of them guys.
But I'm
one of them guys. I didn't graduate high school or anything like that. I did get a GED, but I have 4,000 books in my house right now, probably well over that now. But I read, and not just read. My colleagues are doctors and lawyers. They're businessmen who are multimillionaires. So I have to have knowledge, because I wouldn't even be in their presence, first of all, because they don't talk street. They know the streets because we all came from that. A lot of us came from that, but that's not our conversation. That's not even our aspirations. We can't even talk street and aspire the way we want to aspire.
Pone, if your age is what you told me, if you're 50, you came from the era where being the dumb person in the room wasn't cool.
Nah.
Nobody wanted to be the dummy in the room. Nobody wanted to be the dummy in the room. So none of this surprises me at all.
Yep. You're absolutely right with that.
I need y'all. I need everybody watching. I need y'all to go fuck with Pone. Your man just pulled.
I appreciate that.
And he's exactly what I'm telling. He's exactly the kind of thing that I'm trying to explain. He's exactly the kind of role model that I'm talking about. And I know role model has a real weird connotation these days. However, when we were having that interview with Method Man, and I told him, there are people looking at you because we don't know what 50 is supposed to look like.
No, that's why I keep saying, be the example, be the sacrifice or the sacrificial lamb. Like, that's one of my monikers. I tell my employees that. I tell some of my close friends, like, you want to do something, you want to see your children do something. My children, listen, my children got straight A's from every last one of them, with the exception of maybe my oldest son, Josh. He was a hard head, but he graduated. He's great. Great kid now. He's 30 something now. But my children fell in love with school because every day they came home, whether from tiny, I would read. My when they were born, I would pick up dictionaries and read it to them until they started sweating and passed out. That was my way of putting them to sleep. When I was on daddy duties, I'd pick up a book and read it to them. You got to be the example. Like, that's just really what it is. Women, you want your daughter to be a certain type of woman, you got to be that example. You want your son to be a certain type of man, you got to be the example. You can't tell your son to be tough and you soft. And that don't mean picking up a gun. That means if it's doing 100 push-ups a day, then he needs to see you do that from birth, because then he's going to have an active example that's tangible for him. It's not something on TV or on his cell phone screen or on the internet or nothing like that. It's actually tangible for him, and he can see that, even if it's an uncle or something like that. You know what I mean? Because it's not always about the fathers and all of that. Sometimes it's an uncle or just somebody in the neighborhood who says, hey, try it this way. You know what I mean? Pick your feet up when you run. Don't fix your collar. Those things are the things that shape us as people, human beings in life generally. And that's what we need more of.
I need to see more 100 emojis in the chat if you agree with what the bro is saying right now. Like, I need y'all to give encouragement, because he don't even take compliments well. I know, because I had to.
I don't.
I had to stop everything. I had to stop the clock to repeat them, because he was gonna floss right past those. I need everybody in here to give a thumbs up to the bro for coming in here.
Yeah.
Talking the facts. Everybody who's on Instagram, I'm sorry you're missing out. I don't know if y'all can hear this or not, but I told you to come over to YouTube. I told you this is where it was going to be going down. And y'all are still over here throwing up comments and yes, real talk. Calvin, my man Calvin from the UK. He's big.
Okay. UK in the house.
Yeah, like you already know you already know what we do. Calvin, you supposed to be over here. I don't know what time it is in the morning, but you know damn well you're supposed to be over here.
Right.
Bro, listen. My thing now is I'm reading the tea leaves. I'm seeing cracks in the system that can be exploited. I'm seeing new streams of consciousness that are starting to come through in the music and in the art that's reflective of the people. I'm seeing ageism starting to take an L. I'm seeing the industry take losses, 40% drop in sales and consolidating and firing everybody. That means they're hurting. And I'm seeing all of this happen at the exact same time that the music and the actual art is starting to flourish, right?
Yeah.
It's all happening one behind the other. Like it's all happening in the same year. We've seen all these things. And now here we are at the tail end of this year, and I see fuck the streets, right? At the same time that Fab is going at 50 on some lyrical shit.
Yeah.
Nothing's coincidental. If you guys believe that nothing is coincidental, that means all of these things are happening at the same time for a reason. There is a way.
There is definitely a way.
We can get this back. We can get some of these kids on track. I'm still, my mentality hasn't changed, y'all. If you've been following me, you know how I feel. I'm not arguing with nobody that Harriet Tubman would have shot. I'm not doing it. However,
right.
I'm seeing a way that we can start saving some of these kids. We can start getting our youth back. We can start recapturing our shit that we put into this world and actually doing the right thing with it. We can turn this thing into what it was supposed to be. I'm seeing a way forward. We just that's why when I'm talking to you, my main agenda is tricking is the wrong word, but I want to know what we can do to get the youth on board with. And if the first thing is, if you shoot a gun, you pussy. Like I'm looking for anything. I'm looking for anything that will work to make sure that they're alive to rethink it. You can rethink after an ass whooping. You can't. You're not always left the luxury to rethink after.
I think with the guns, I don't know about New York or like major cities or stuff like that, but I know here in Delaware, man, some of these kids can actually get out and go to the shooting range and find out what them guns is really about, and that can change some things.
Okay. Okay.
Gun safety is something that I take serious. Another crazy story from back in my street days. I got a buddy, man. He loves danger, and one day somebody was shooting on the block. And he runs towards the gunfire. And I'm like, this asshole. So now I got to follow him. So I follow him over there. We end up inside of a trap. And the guy, apparently, who was shooting, as we're coming up the stairs, he pulls the hammer past our heads and dry fires to see if there's nothing in the chamber. I'm like, yo. So I checked him on that. Like, don't ever do that again. One, there could have still been a bullet in the chamber. You could have shot somebody by accident. But two, that's not the safe way to do that. You know what I mean? Now, granted, in hindsight, I didn't teach him how to properly clear his gun, but at least I put the message in his ear at the time. I was too young to even think that far ahead. There was just so much going on in the instance. But the reality is that sometimes some things need to be said when they need to be said and not wait and see what happens. You know what I mean? Prime example, when I was talking about the kid who recently got murdered out here, a couple doors down from my house. Actually, I'm not gonna get into too much details with that.
No. You cool.
Them kids, listen. That same child. I'm calling him a child. He's in his 20s, but that same child, we used to yell at him because he would run around the neighborhood knocking all the lights out. I had to explain to him, this is for your safety. You think they got cameras in there, and at the time they had no cameras there. We got cameras in our neighborhood now since he's died,
but
we didn't have them then. They're knocking out the lights thinking there's cameras in there. The city don't got that type of money. They don't even want to spend it on our neighborhood in the first place. You know what I mean? But the idea that they're always being watched, and a lot of these misconceptions and myths are the things that need to be stopped, nipped in the bud. Luckily, they respected me enough to leave my lights alone. But there was a couple times you come on the block and it's pitch black out that mug.
We have to get the trusted voices we have in this community, in this culture, have to be the ones who are if we are trusted voices, if we are the people who somebody's going to come and ask us questions, we got to have a couple of answers ready, and we all need to be kind of on the same page moving forward. Like it can't keep splintering the message. Well, he said that. Well, he said it's okay to. He said
and some of these old folks got to stop acting like they still and they these old dudes got to be accountable. Like some of these so-called role models to these dudes is not good role models. And
I'm not Jack. I'm with you, but at the same time, again, I'm not arguing with somebody Harriet Tubman with a shot. I think we need to let them be on goofy time. We need to let them stay on goofy time. We need to expose the fact that it's goofy time. Like,
well, that's what I mean.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. But some of these the conversation that I saw EYL have with Jim Jones when he brought up Sexy Red, he instantly started. Okay, wait a minute. It's like, well, she's a rap superhero, bro. Come on now. And then they went and walked him through. I think a lot more of that needs to happen moving forward. And what I'm enjoying is what I'm hopeful about is I'm seeing the space for us to do it. Now,
yeah.
Like I'm seeing
it's definitely a space. Things are definitely turning around. I do see that. I see it, like you said, in the music. I'm seeing it just in the mentality of people in general, especially within our hip hop culture, so to speak, where the mentality is starting to shift. I mean, after you become an adult and start having children, your mindset switches anyway. Because now you're no longer protecting yourself. You're no longer solely worried about yourself. You literally have to worry about somebody else. And the deadbeat parent mess is done. I think, not that there's none out, you still don't have deadbeats out there, but I think that it's no longer acceptable. So you only find the bottom barrel who are actually willingly going out there. Now, granted, it's hard, but.
Bro, that was never our bag to begin with. I'm so sick of wearing that jacket. That was never our bag to begin with.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
The other circumstances into account. We started talking.
But I mentioned that simply because I know somebody's on here thinking, "Oh, well, what about this?" Nah, it's not really that. It's the fact.
I see, and those kind of folk that would say that, those contrarians, I'm not checking for them anymore either. Like there's a smooth group, good, healthy bundle of fuck shit that I'm leaving in 2025. There are certain people I'm just not trying to convince anymore. Like, bro, whatever you say, whatever you I don't care.
Right.
Or whatever label you want to throw on them. There's a certain group of people who, when we trying to come up with solutions, there's a difference between troubleshooting and being contrarian. If you're troubleshooting with me and we trying to find a solution around an issue we believe is going to come up, I'm all for that.
Right. Forget the contrarian.
This conversation is just what about? Well, how you know that they don't? Nigga, get out. Right. I smell Harriet Tubman gunpowder on you all day.
All day.
I'm not discussing none of that with nobody from here moving forward. I'm thinking about the like-minded. I'm fucking with people who want to see some kind of progress. This culture is super important to me. I'm really not checking for, well, I mean, it ain't been the same since. No. Go ahead. Like, I'm not on that. What we doing now? I'm about.
What are we doing now? It's so much that nobody's talked about. Nobody's really addressing. It's little stuff that we're not even paying attention to. And we're arguing about who got the best chains. And that shit is over with. You're right.
If that's the conversation you having, cool. You just can't have it with me.
Right. Absolutely.
I'm not gonna stop you.
I ain't gonna knock you, but it's over.
I might even knock you. I'm just not gonna stop you. Like bro, that's stupid. Get that shit the fuck out of there. I'm not discussing that with you.
Nah, I totally agree because I'm not gonna lie, man. I spend more time with myself. If I'm not with my family or my wife, I'm or my employees, I'm by myself simply because I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to talk about the what ifs and the let's go find out.
Oh my God. Can everybody please be like Uncle Pone? Can we please? Can we make posters of this dude right here? Can we just like
I don't know about posters, but you know,
no, fuck it. Like whatever we need. Postcards, make gifts out of this dude's face. Like I need to see Uncle Pone posted up way more. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the only kind of energy I'm interested in having around me moving forward. Like as my new podcast pops up, as my new music pops up, as my face starts moving around a lot more, I need y'all to understand and know that this is the kind of progressive shit that I'm on. This is my attitude moving forward. I'm only looking, and listen, I'm not, a priest. I'm not saying we can't have fun. I'm not saying we can't like spaz out. I love good bars. I'm trying to, I'll bar somebody's head off, and I'm all for the excitement. But like that bullshit, I'm not. Y'all get ahead with that. There's plenty of that, and if you want that, there's other places to go. But if you're looking for the other shit, I'm on this wave. This is the wave I'm on. In case it wasn't clear from all the other shit that's been happening. First Lady L, what up? Calvin, thank you for pulling up. Next time I do one of these, which is going to be Monday, I may start going live every night at this rate, but next time I do one of these, definitely Monday for Meccahnism Monday. I want you to jump on camera, Calvin. You're way too cool, and you're in Europe, so I need to hear that accent when you start talking. And me and Pone could have had a nice conversation in here. I'm about to shake the spot now because I got studio in a half hour that I need to get to. Pone, stay up with me.
You too, man. Great chatting with you. I appreciate you giving me a little platform to voice my opinion.
Next time I give you a compliment, you shut the fuck up.
I'm definitely going to accept it from you, yo. Don't hold that against me.
I'm holding it against you. No more of that. No more, bro. We got to start accepting these flowers while we around to smell them. I need you to take these compliments. If I hear a dude, hey, listen, I'm 50. I'm a small business owner. I made it out the streets. I retired from corporate America. I got music. I'm in the bars, and I raise my kids, and I love to read. If I say congratulations, bro, just give me that. Just
I appreciate it.
One of these. That's all that needs to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm up out of here. I will see y'all again on Monday if I don't see you sooner, but stay tuned because this is going to be way more of a thing moving forward. I'm not about to leave y'all alone. I'm not about to leave this alone. And us who are like-minded in these circles, we need to make it a point to circle the wagons because it really is just us. You can call me elitist, you can call me backpacker, call me whatever, but at the end of the day, we need each other way more than we need the fuck shit. So please stay up, like, share, and subscribe. Share this all over the place. Let's get, and please like, share, and subscribe so more people see Pone. Excuse me.
Yeah, Uncle Pone on every platform.
Thank you.
Every platform.
Like,
Uncle
share,
Pone.
subscribe so more people see shit like this. So we're not running around still carrying.
All you gotta do is look for the logo.
Man's got a logo. Please, Uncle Pone, can we big Uncle Pone up? Please and thank you. I love the Crenshaw. Yeah, love the Crenshaw hoodie. Thank you. Yeah. One time for Nipsey Hussle, who gave us all a philosophy. You gotta let goofies be on goofy time.
Yeah.
Leave them where they are. One love to Nip. Shout out to everybody in here. I will see y'all again on Monday if I don't see you sooner. Please be safe. Like, share, subscribe, people. Please like, share, subscribe. I'm getting this thing on and running. I'm not gonna leave y'all again. Like, share, and subscribe. Let everybody know that this is where it's popping. All right.
All right. Salute.
Everybody be safe. Pone. One time. Good people.